right here of Thank You Coach had so many important lessons for coaches, obviously in sports, and leaders in the workplace as to how you execute day after day to win over the team and to get those winning results. And so such a profound book. I took tons and tons of notes, and I thought I'd ask you a last question, if you don't mind. Put you on the spot.
Sure.
Spotlight on you. If I asked you what 3 qualities Coach Dan had or demonstrated that made you feel invested in, what would you say those 3 qualities were that he had?
I think he cared about his players more than he cared about himself. And that came back. We were his top priority in life. He wasn't, which is profound. He was a servant leader to the very definition. He existed to serve us, and it shone through everything he did. That's number 1. Number 2 was he did have, or does have, tremendous real technical knowledge of his craft. So it's one thing for someone to really care about you, but they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. So he was competent to the highest level. I've never known a smarter football man than him. So he cared about us. And I also knew that what he was doing for us was the very best practices that were out there. So he knew what he was doing, which is we can't overlook that part.
That's incredibility.
You can have great people skills, but if you don't really know what you're doing, you're more of a liability. You're going to have people buying the stuff that you don't know what you're talking about. So he cared about us more than he cared about himself. He knew the game more than anyone I ever knew. And I would say 3 was, maybe this leads into part 1, I'm not sure, but he would shoulder the blame and he would push us the applause. And again, I think that speaks to part 1, but that was, again, something that was consistent.
Right.
When problems happened, it was because he hadn't coached us well enough, or he didn't design it well enough. He shielded the heat from us, which reinforced, I think, point number 1. But all the praise went to us for job well done. And I think that maybe that's more of a part of part A.
That ties into accountability, right? Like, it reminds me of a quote that I heard from Simon Sinek, where don't blame the tools that you're given, but work to sharpen them.
Yeah. Dan always told us a good carpenter never blames his tools.
Yeah, there you go.
But I think a good leader takes the onus of a great leader shoulders the burden, but shouts the praise, right? Like you in a win, the players won and the coaches lost, and that's not a reality. But in a messaging and a trust building environment, you're never going to find a player that won't go to the ends of the earth with you if they know when things go sideways, you'll take it, and when things are good, you're the first one to give it.
100%. So if I were to sum up those three qualities that Coach Dan had, I would say he cared. He demonstrated credibility because he knew his craft. And the third piece is around accountability. He took the blame for things. He was accountable and took ownership.
Big time ownership. Except he wouldn't steal the ownership for a win. First guy to tell us we won because of our performance. First guy to tell us we lost because of their ill preparation or miscommunication. And, we knew it most of the time, but to hear that message reminded us, man, does he care about us? So we're going to go to the ends of the earth for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get what's called discretionary effort. Yeah. Think about it as a leader and employer. You get people to do their job as well as they're supposed to, or you get them to bring their very best that they're humanly possible of. Mm-hmm. There's a difference. Mm-hmm. And they do that when they know that you would do that for them.
Yes. So all of us bringing better versions of ourselves to their personal lives or professional lives. So I want to tell everyone out there, this book, Thank You Coach, it's awesome. Lots of tidbits in here for our personal lives, professional lives, in terms of leading others. And so I want to thank you so much for taking the time.
It's been a blast. I love this. This is so much fun. And hope everyone's staying healthy and safe out there. And, for those that are, what a great opportunity for us to share and learn things during this time.
Absolutely.
Stay great, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks. Take care.
Thank you.